My ex-wife divorced me after she got cancer so that she could leave first. Now she wants to come back. Should I give her another chance? I met my wife, I'll call her Anna, during our first year of university. We dated throughout college and got married right after graduation. Everything was going well until Anna discovered a lump in her right breast. I encouraged her to get checked out. She was reluctant at first, but finally did because breast cancer runs in her family. And just as we feared, that's what it was. The good news amidst the tragedy was that her type of cancer was extremely treatable with chemotherapy and radiation. However, due to her family history, the doctor recommended a double mastectomy. This plunged Anna into a deep emotional black hole. I suggested she go to therapy, but she flat out refused and forbade me from ever mentioning it again. So I did the impossible to be her pillar. I took time off work so I wouldn't miss a single medical appointment, took over 100% of the household chores, did all the shopping, drove her wherever she wanted, planned special dates, and gave her an hour-long foot massage every single night. I did absolutely everything in my power. About 6 weeks into her treatment, Anna suggested spending a week with her sister Sarah. The idea gave me some breathing room since I was physically and mentally exhausted, and I thought a little distance would do us good. But 2 nights into her stay there, she called to tell me she wanted a divorce. She had read stories online about men who abandoned their sick wives, and she was determined to leave me before I could abandon her. There are no words to describe how that crushed my soul. I loved her madly. She was my entire world. I begged her to reconsider, swore to her that the thought of leaving her had never crossed my mind even once, and pleaded with her to go to therapy either alone or with me. Her response was a brick wall. Because I was a man, I would inevitably abandon her. End of story. The divorce process took a whole year, thanks to the chaos of the pandemic, during which we sold the house and split the profits. I didn't want to keep living in that town, so I asked for a job transfer and moved about 2 hours away. Over the past few years, I focused on healing. I adopted a dog, went on a couple of casual dates, picked up hiking as a hobby, and started gardening. Until completely out of the blue, Anna called me 3 weeks ago. She said she had come to town on a trip with some friends, caught a glimpse of me from afar, and all her feelings rushed right back. She claimed she was sick and out of her mind back then, so I couldn't judge her words or her actions. She told me she still loved me, regretted leaving me, and begged me for another chance. I am completely thrown off. If I'm being honest, I still care for Anna, but I am no longer in love with her. She broke my heart into 1,000 pieces, and it took me a very long time to put my head back together. On the other hand, I know she was going through a mental hell because of the cancer. Do I owe her at least a conversation? I'm terrified that if we get back together, I'll constantly feel like she has one foot out the door. Or maybe I'm being unfair. I don't know what to do. Should I give her another chance? Update. 3 days later. I want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. I now completely understand when people say their inbox blows up. The thread got locked very quickly while I was sleeping, and I couldn't reply, but I read as much as I could. Many advised me to meet her in person to see how it felt. That sounded reasonable to me. So I texted her, and we arranged to meet at a local coffee shop after work. I wanted a public place for my own safety and peace of mind. Anna was already there when I arrived. She stood up to hug me. I let her, but I didn't hug her back. I asked her to listen quietly while I poured out everything I had been carrying inside. I talked for about 10 minutes straight while she just cried. I laid out everything that broke me. How I would have stayed by her side through thick and thin no matter what. How she wrecked my life by asking for a divorce. And how hard it was to pick myself up off the floor. I also told her what many of you pointed out. That if we got back together, I would live in constant fear of what she'd do the next time she got sick, or if I got sick. That made her angry, and she interrupted me. She reproached me for being unfair, for not taking her mental state at the time into account, saying she wasn't in her right mind then, but she was now. I took the opportunity to ask her if she had gone to therapy. She dropped the bomb that she hadn't, had no plans to, and didn't need it. I have to admit that hurt like a sharp blow. I asked her why. Just, why did she do it? It was the major question that had been gnawing at me. And her answer left me frozen. She told me she had joined support groups where she read countless stories of fleeing partners. She even mentioned Reddit, ironically. She said she talked it through with her sister Sarah. To her credit, tried to dissuade her from divorcing me. But between social media and the pressure from some friends, she felt she had to go through with it to be seen as a strong woman. That is word for word what she said. She broke our marriage and shattered my heart because in her twisted mind, that equated to being a strong woman. When she started pushing for us to get back together, I flat out told her that was never going to happen. The underlying issue is that trust is dead. I would always live in dread of her repeating history. She cried and tried to convince me a little longer, but when I stood up from the table to leave, she threw her iced coffee in my face and stormed off, throwing her own little tantrum. So no, we're definitely not getting back together. I have the closure I needed, though I wish it felt better. I've been deep in thought these past 36 hours, turning over in my head whether there was something I could have done to save us. But I know there wasn't anything left to do. I've blocked her number, and honestly, I hope I never hear from her again.